Hello sim racers and welcome. This is Aris from Kuno Simulazioni and this is happy hour after work. So, hope you're doing fine. This is a new format that I'm trying to establish during the week. It's going to be 1 hour, 1 hour and a half right after work, which is a small window of time that I have available. And usually what I'm doing is trying to do some laps with a dedicated car and circuit combo in order to help the community on my Discord server to prepare for their Sunday longer endurance race. So this time we are going to do Bentley with Bentley at Zandvoort, and hopefully we will be able to create a decent setup, have some telemetry for the Discord users, for the server users to try, and because this is also, from what I've heard, the pit stop week on my Discord server, we will try also to give some hints and tips on how to make the better pit stop operations or strategy or whatever. All right, so let's get in. Let's get in the game. All right, so oh come on, look at this wonderful beast. Now, as you might have noticed, I've changed my headphones and my mic, so if the microphone volume is not correct, or if you hear some noises and crackling noises that I'm already hearing right now, please be patient. I will try to figure out, but possibly not now, so we don't lose much time. All right, so let's get in the game. And as I said, we are going to do some practice. Yeah, somewhere around 9 o'clock, a bit earlier. At Zandvoort with the Bentley. Hey, hello chat, how are you doing, guys? So Giorgio Mezzone goes right in and thank you for enjoying my videos, very nice of you, and has a question: what's the yellow bar in the HUD between the driver's name and the construction logo? That's the ping. So if it's green, the ping is very good between the client and the server, and you, if it's yellow, it's so-so. If it's red, it's very bad, so be careful and not go very close to that client, because you're gonna have warping issues and so on. Yeah, so Anthony, yeah, so Donny, hello Marcel. Okay, so let's go in. And here we are. Oh, yeah, I still don't remember that I have to lower the sound from here. Let me know in the meanwhile in the chat if you hear everything correctly or if you have problems. So let's get the aggressive setup as usual. Next thing, let's get up some telemetry laps here, so that we can also save the telemetry as we go on. Hello Madcat. The temperature is 25. I don't think it's maybe it's a little bit too cold, but okay, no problems. Let's go in and have some fun. So the first thing I would like to do is, before wasting too much time, I would like to do a couple of pit stops, okay, so that I can understand where are the reference points to brake properly, get in the pit lane, find out where I have to place this car. By the way, the Bentley is a very big car. It also is right-hand drive, so I need to get some reference point and understand how to make the proper pit stop. Another thing that you should have a go and try, go to the options, controls, and find out if you can enable manual ignition and starter. Now, why is that? Let me see actually where they are, because I don't remember. So shift special, MFD, where is it? Increase brake bias, traction control. Oh, there it is, first in the list. So ignition and starter. I do advise you, if you want to do properly fast pit stops, I do advise you to set those two things manual, because obviously you can do everything automatic from the options, and from the assist you can have everything automatic, but the game always gives a handicap to the automatic options and let you be faster if you use the manual option. So my advice is, if you really want to do it as fast as possible, set a button or a key. You can also set a keyboard key for ignition and starter, which obviously I have set here. And all right, so let's do a couple of laps, start to understand how the car behaves, and I will instantly enter the pits and try to do a pit stop, so that I will start learning where are the reference points for entering the pit lane, positioning the car in my pit box, and so on. I hear so much static noise right now. It's really is annoying. Probably something with the drivers. I'll have to fix this. The sound quality is good. I like it. Also much lighter, but and comfortable. But this static noise and clicks, it's so annoying. Hello, Stacy. Ciao, Michele. Oh, reading too much chat. But that's okay. We're just going to do a couple of pit stop, you know, testings. Oh, you also hear the clicking noises. Oh, that's terrible. So let's go in and try to stop here, maybe. Let's see. Ooh, too early, too late. Have to brake even sooner. Clicking and cracking. Yeah, that's what I hear too. All right, let's try out. Let's see, how was this? Okay, that was perfect. That's good. That's good. Hello, David. We just started, actually. Yeah, but it's I also hear it while I'm driving, so it's not OBS. It's something in the drivers, maybe something digital clipping, as Michele says. So what you do now is you switch on again ignition and starter, and you're ready to go. Let's try this one more time. No, Nick, we don't have plans to update the Zandvoort track for now. Another lap. If it's too annoying, guys, the clicking noise, let me know and I will try to fix it. Otherwise, we can go on for an hour, trying, you know, the setup and everything, and then I'll fix it my own, so I don't bore you with hardware configurations. Jose, we are going to talk about the Bentley characteristic in a minute. Let me do a couple of pit stops and check out how I need to do it. Hey, David. Let's go in again. Start braking. Okay, that was much better. So we have a reference point for braking. And now the idea is to place the car somewhere around here. Start braking at the start of the... That's it. And switch off. Okay, so I have to get a little bit backwards. Right. It goes a little bit too much straight. Okay, one more time. And then we can analyze and see what we can do. Right? Dimitri asked why ACC cars can't brake with ABS turned off. They can brake, but why you should do that? I mean, the ABS is there to take advantage, and you need to take advantage as they do in real life. You can switch it off if you want, but obviously you're gonna be slower, or you're gonna block your brakes if you don't know how to brake, and you're gonna destroy your tires. No, David, I cannot do a Kyalami entry here. Okay, brake here at the white. Nice. Thoughts on James Baldwin? Yeah, I'll tell you in a minute. Alright, so let's go on here. Stay somewhere around here and brake. There. Okay. Switch off. Almost good. I need to go a little bit to the left. Alright, so once you are up on the pit, you switch off the ignition, and once you are up and your mechanics are doing the pit stop, you switch on the ignition again, okay? You put your foot on the clutch, 10 seconds, put down all the accelerator. Once you go at 0 seconds and the car goes down, you have to wait that the car goes down, you switch on the starter, and there you go again. So this is what you have to do. So you stop, switch ignition off, instantly switches, the mechanics get up the car. While they're working on the car, you switch ignition on again. You can see here on the HUD side of the tires that the ignition goes from gray to green when it's switched on, gray when it's switched off, like this. Okay, so switch on the ignition, clutch down, accelerator full. Once the car, and only when the car goes down, not before that, press the starter and you're ready to go. You see, like that. So this is the best way to do your pit stop. Now, let's see if we can check something on the replay. So let's go inside. Right, so from the replay we can see another thing that you can do is take a reference point when you have to start braking. And the second reference point is where you want your bonnet to be on this billboard with the stop sign. This is actually a proper now billboard that they have on stereo, so we had to reproduce it like that. So what we're doing here, you can see I'm starting to brake for this big car just before the first mechanic, and then I try to position the car right at the bonnet of the car, right at the end of the first arrow, looking down. Okay, so here it is. Maybe a little bit earlier it would have been better, because as you can see, they do move us a bit. So this is where you have to do it for the Bentley. For other cars, you still have to do a couple of practices and find out the correct position. It only takes 3, 4, 5 times, 5 laps maybe, and that's it. I mean, you've lost, I don't know, 5-10 minutes of your practice time, and you know exactly where you have to stop, where you have to start braking, and where you have to position the car to make the perfect pit stop. All right? Okay. So let's go back now and start doing some proper laps. All right, let's see. Weather system. No, Samuel, not really. The dry line is made by the amount of rubber that you put on the asphalt. So thoughts on James Baldwin starting off traction control at times in the McLaren? Well, I can tell you that the latest GT3 cars I've seen, they have started implementing a button on the steering wheel to switch off the traction control instantly for a very short amount of time, which means that on occasion, on some conditions, even on the real cars, the drivers have the possibility to press the button, switch off the traction control just for the exit of the turn, and then it automatically switches on back again to the level that it is pre-selected. So I guess makes sense. Oh, Goblet, sorry to hear that. Hey, it's out, Dark. All right, so let's start and do some laps here. So as we said, we got the aggressive setup. We are going to put some telemetry laps here, possibly fresh tires. Number 2 is fresh tires, okay? And first of all, check the pressures for the temperature and see what we can do. Let's go in. So, Bentley, big car, very big car, one of the biggest car. It's not the biggest car in terms of wheelbase. The biggest car in wheelbase is the M6, but it is certainly the biggest car in terms of presence and probably frontal area. It really is a massive, massive car. Very well balanced. The weight is quite close to 50-50. Obviously, as we said, is a massive car, so it does have a very big frontal area. But this latest version, they made an amazing job to make it as aerodynamic as possible in terms of coefficient of drag, which means that even though the car has a very big frontal area, the coefficient of drag is so good, and the car is actually pretty good in aerodynamics. And because of that, the BOB doesn't give it more than 550 horsepower as they usually do on cars with big frontal area, but they give it a little bit less. So it has a little bit less top horsepower than the biggest cars out there. Still, it has a lot of torque, the car is relatively light. There is this misconception that the Bentley is a very heavy car. That's not true, because as you know, we have the BOP, and the BOP means that you know, the ballast is given to the cars to balance out the performances, and because of that we have cars like the Lamborghini, which should be very light, but instead is one of the heaviest car in reality and in the game, obviously, while the Bentley is not the heaviest car around, you know, mid-grade. It's not the lightest, but certainly not the heaviest, which is a little bit of surprising, I know. As we said, the car is very long wheelbase. That means that the car is not really very agile, and you can see that especially on sprint races and sprint tracks like Zandvoort. But it is very easy on the driver. It is stable, it moves a little bit slower, and that means that you can push it in an easier way, and it will reward you with stability and great grip, lateral grip in the turns, and it's also very good in directionality. Is that a word? I don't know, but you understand what I mean. What also means? It means that being so long in wheelbase, the load transfer and weight transfer during braking is slower and less than other cars, which means that as we said, it's easy on the driver or the turn-in, but it also means that we could use more rear brake balance to make it turn in easier. Now Zandvoort here is one of the best tracks to try these things, because it has many turns that they really need a lot of trail braking, as we talk about in the latest video, and those turns are from slow like this one, left and right like this one here. We even have some chicane, very narrow chicane, and this is where the Bentley really suffers into that chicane. It might be safe and easy to drive around, but it's not so fast. So you can see here, the car really takes its time to rotate and change direction. On the other hand, it has also very long and even fast turns like this one. For example, in this turn here, the Bentley can go flat out if you do the correct line, which is great. You cannot always do it flat out with all the cars in the game, depending on the setup, of course. It has also this kind of hairpin like this one. Again, lots of trail braking to do. Now, as we said, because there are so many different turns that permit and actually request trail braking here at Zandvoort, with a car like the Bentley, that it is slow and benign to the driver, we can really try different approaches and techniques. So the first thing I will notice here is that because the car doesn't want really to change directions as fast as some other cars, but it is stable while it does so, I could use more rear brake bias, which is something also that I can change while driving, see what happened and see if that improves my lap times and whoa and turn in. So we're already lapping into the 37 flat. Yeah, you have to be patient here. You can see though that because of the massive amounts of torque and the less weight at the rear, obviously, than the mid-engine cars, it suffers a little bit of traction loss at the exit of the hairpins and narrow chicanes. So it is something that you need to keep in mind and apply the throttle more gently and with your wheels in a more straight. So I have put the brake bias a bit backwards now, and indeed this helps me turn the car better. I'm already gaining a little bit of time. The pressures are not good, so we have lots of lap time to gain from the pressures as well. Needs a little bit of careful here, but maybe the pressures will help us. Ooh, a bit of understeer there. Gentle with the throttle to keep the traction. Work with the steering wheel to keep the traction. Doesn't want to change direction as well here, we know that. We lost some time, but still not bad. Okay, alright, already 36.7 with the default aggressive setup. And I believe that if I focus a little bit, I can do even better. Need to be a little bit careful here at the downhill. Very fast corner, lots of trail braking, smooth. Right, nice. Lots of traction at the exit as usual. Oversteer. Lost a lot of time here. A pity because we were going down to 36 lows. Need also to improve myself because I still make mistakes from sitting on the right hand of the car. But all in all, still a better lap time. Very, very nice car to drive. Okay, 36.5, let's stop, check the pressures and everything, and have another go. In the meanwhile, while you guys are maybe watching, let's watch the replay in the meanwhile. Have a look at the replay, and I'll try to see if I can fix the popping from Windows. So let's see this. All right. Let's see if I can fix this. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do. I hope you can still hear me. Okay, let's see if this fixes things. Let me know if you can still hear me and if you can still hear the sounds. I don't hear the clicking anymore, so maybe it's better. Let me know if you can hear that. That's good. Thank you, Insorted Duplo. Possibly, if you hear what I hear, you shouldn't have any issues with the clicking anymore. So fingers crossed. Get some water and yeah. Interesting. So that you know, guys, the Windows whatever drivers for the headphones and stuff, don't use them. It just disable them, works better. Okay, so let's go back. Garage setup, pressures. Oh damn, I've lost the pressures. I've lost the pressures, so we need to do another couple of laps. Okay, let's put back this brake bias at something like 64.4. It was quite well, quite good. And all right, tires are good. I think I needed a couple of pressures here and a lot of pressure extra on the right. So left side wasn't bad. And I need to go I think more than 1 psi at the right. So let's go to 26.9 and 26.7 here. Do a couple of laps and see what happens. Okay, let's try this then. Thank you guys for always letting me know. Hey, Costantine! So Costas Capazanos, guys, we have to talk about this amazing guy. He is, I really have to talk about him. He is one of the best instructors, real instructors at Spa. So if you want to learn Spa, if you want to drive Spa, if you want to maybe even rent a car at Spa with a, I don't know, Costa, you let me know on the chat which is the company that you now work and collaborate with. So if you want to go at Spa and drive amazing cars and learn from the best guy possible, he's the guy. I think he also has now a YouTube channel, so make sure to go to his YouTube channel, subscribe, click everything. The guy is amazing, and he has one of the most great RX-7s FD that I know. He's really good, and it is an honor to have him on the chat right now. No, really, I'm not saying this because I know him. He's really good, guys, so don't let his fake modesty. He's one of the best out there. Reading the chat way too much, as usual. Hello, Simone. So one thing also you need to remember with the Bentley is how severe the how severe the BOP has been to the Bentley on the engine side. Up to 2019, this was an engine that you could push up to 7,300, 400 RPM, and it would still pull without problems. For 2020, for 2020 and 2021, obviously, the BOP, the guys at the BOP understood that this car is really good on aerodynamic drag, and so they wanted to limit the power on the engine at the high revs, and as such, at around 7,000 and something RPM, they completely close the turbo pressure from the BOP. So the turbo pressure simply just, down, no turbo pressure at all. So the engine practically becomes almost normal aspirated at over 7,000, which means that if you want to go fast, you really have to change gear up when the LEDs start blinking, but right away. I mean, you cannot wait anymore. I've seen many people complaining that the Bentley is not so fast anymore because they were pushing the engine at 7,300 RPM as usual, but in reality what you need to do if you are driving it into a 2020 track, you really need to change gear at 7,000, 7,100 at most right away when you see the LEDs blinking. Otherwise you're just wasting time. Now obviously you're gonna say, but Aris, we just saw you in the last penultimate corner to go to pull the third gear over the blinks of the LEDs. Why did you do that? Well, there is no space there to put the fourth gear and continue accelerating. So you just, keep the third gear, and you know that after 5 meters, even though the engine doesn't really pull much, after 5 meters you will need to, start braking. So it makes no sense to put the fourth gear for just a hint of a second. Too fast here. Now I could use some rotation in the middle of the turn. You see it here, I just pulled the third gear. There's no use to gear up to fourth gear. Alright, 36 flat, going good.
Well done, mate. That's all this.
Too much. Whoa, whoops. Alright, some light damage. Okay, we are in 36 flat. We can start to improve. Let's check the pressure, by the way. How are we? 27.9, that's a little bit too much. So let's go down here by at least 3. That is good here, that is good here also. This is a little bit low. Maybe we took something, some curb or something. So welcome. Oh, so many people today. Sorry that I've lost you. So welcome Lucas, welcome Praitza, welcome Andrea, welcome Siddharth, welcome Simone, welcome the guy from his channel that asked for subscribes. Welcome Kalik and welcome Make. Welcome guys. Thank you so much for subscribing into the channel. Let's see a little bit what is going on the chat. Thank you, Costas. Thank you, Costas. Now, the wastegate controlled, Chris asks, so the wastegate opens at 7K, very interesting. The wastegate controls the pressure, all right, at the top, the maximum of the pressure. Nowadays, they have solenoids, they control actually how much pressure you have on every single RPM range. So it's not like, you know, the old turbos where you would, you know, ramp up the turbo pressure at, I don't know, 3000 RPM, 4000 RPM, and that was the pressure you would maintain until the limiter. Nowadays they have very specific pressure control, and actually the BOP says at 4000 RPM you have, I don't know, let's say 1 bar of turbo pressure. At 4500 RPM you have 0.9. At 5000, 0.8. At 6000 you might have 0.9 again. I don't know. They will tell you exactly what kind of graph you need to have from turbo pressure on your engine. And obviously, if in this case of the Bentley, they decided that at 7100 pressure just goes down instantly, and there's nothing you can do about it. Obviously, Assetto Corsa Competizione simulates all of that. We have active turbo pressure controllers, and they get all the data from a map, and you know, the engine, the turbo pressure engine goes up and down depending on what that map says. Right, so what else? Yes, it is possible to get a puncture in different ways. Either you can lose pressure from curbs and you get a puncture, or you can have your tire to explode if you flat spot it heavily, or you can explode your tire if you bring it up to, I don't know, something like 350 Celsius, while maybe, you know, by burnout, if you burn out a lot on a high gear, you'll be able to make your tire explode. All right. Specs are not public really. They have started not listing specs of the cars in public. No, you cannot find things like that, Dr. Pepper. It's all sensitive, you know, information for whatever reason. It's not to me to judge it. Opt is either you cannot see it because they are in spectator mode, so it doesn't tell you in spectator mode the pressures, or it's just blown away. All right. We do not use a turbo dial in the user interface, both because of NDA reasons and because there are many things happening in the turbo, as I said, NDA reasons. And as a matter of fact, even the actual cars do not have turbo pressure on the dash. So, all right. Noisy tribe, it depends. I actually have made sorry. I actually have made a video about how to understand when to change gears using the Motec telemetry. So if you search on my channel about telemetry and change gears and RPM, you will find the video. It explains pretty well when and how it's better to change gears. Well, happy hour is 1 hour. We still have at least another 15 minutes, maybe a little bit more. We'll see. Okay, so the car actually works pretty well. I'm pretty happy. I would go down a little bit on the preload differential. Maybe this will help me to rotate the car a little bit extra. Let's see what's going on the aerial. Car looks good. The tires, it is a little bit high on the temperatures on the left side, you know, normal for this kind of car and this kind of truck actually. Lucas asks where to focus for doing a wet race at Zandvoort. Try to use less camber. Less camber helps with the wet tires and wet conditions. So instead of going up to maximum at -4 or something like that, maybe try to stay at -3 at the front, -2.8 at the rear, something like this. No, AMG does not have a really big wheelbase. It's average. Motivation tips. You have to find a way to have fun. If it's not fun for you, then it's not going to work. I mean, it's a video game, right? I'm sorry to say that, but it is a video game. It is for entertainment. Yes, it is a simulator, everything you say, but it is something you do on your free time, maybe. So if you're not having fun, it's going to be difficult to find motivation to keep on doing what you want to do, or to keep on driving. And the best way to find motivation, in my opinion, is to find a community that you have fun with interacting. If you find a community that you can interact with, and they are cool guys, and you click, and this is going to make you find motivation to have fun with them. So you will look forward to go into the server, talk with them, have fun, and so on. That's for pure having fun with the simulator. Now, if instead you mean that you are doing this almost professionally or semi-professionally in terms of esports and so on, so you are on the top level of performance, and you need more motivation to get even better, to work harder, you need to work on your character, on your mentality, meditation. There are many books actually for drivers, for racing drivers, that help them with motivation. You need also to not focus always to do long hours trying to get faster. Put schedules. So you're gonna get in, practice for an hour or two, get out, have some fun, do other things, let a day pass, get in again, 1 hour or two. So do like this. Do not go in and try to get better at all costs by training for 6 hours. It's not gonna happen, easily. So there are different things. Okay, guys, let me drive a little bit, because otherwise it's gonna be difficult for me to concentrate. So I will leave the aero as it is right now. Maybe we can have a look at the dampers later on. No, the M4, I think it has a tiny bit shorter wheelbase than the M6. We're not talking much here. It's still a big car, but it's like, I think, like 2.8, 2.9, something like that. Alright, electronics, yeah, whatever. Mechanical grip, looks good. There is something we can do here, but okay, let's see first how it works. Okay, let's do another 4 or 5 laps. How do you find a community? Well, forums, Facebook groups, Discord. For example, here's what you can do. If you join my Discord, and you can find the link always in the description of all the videos, so just join the Discord. We have a great channel, which the channel is Leagues and Communities, and all various communities all around the world, they are free to post the link to their Discord community or websites or whatever in there. So if you go in there and just have a scroll, I'm very certain you're gonna find lots of communities for consoles as well. So join them, have a look, see if you like them, change a couple of them. So that's a good way to find some new communities. Yes, I have made a a separate vid for dampers and telemetry, basic stuff. Actually, there are 2 or 3 too long didn't read videos. So again, search my channel and you will find them. Oops. Oh, Sissy is here. Hello, Sissy. Thanks for coming. I know it's this time is not good for you, and already helping people. Great. Oh, watching telemetry, watching the chat again, way too much. Haha, glad to hear that, Sissy. Okay, car rotates nicely and has a little bit better traction. Hello Stain and 15 and Andy. Welcome to the channel, guys. Still some issues at the chicane, but we know that the car is difficult at the chicane. It's my driving style that has to change. That was better here. Nice, 35.6. See if we can go down to 35 lows. Certainly not like that. I would like a little bit of more turn and rotation in the middle of the corner. I don't know exactly how I can obtain that. A little bit too high pressure at the rear left. But it can help us rotate the car here and on the next turn, which is not bad. So I will take this gladly. better concentration and better driving technique, you always get faster. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Sky. Come on, mate. Thank you. Oh, too much. But I've saved it somehow. Yeah, you know, I didn't save it. I've lost tons of time. See, one error, so much time lost. I was like half a second faster, lost it all. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sky. Oof. Alright, let's check a little bit the setup and see how we are. Maybe check a little bit the dampers. Michele always on top of this game. Maybe we should also make him mod here. Alright, alright. So, return to garage. Oi, oh, come on guys, thank you. Pururav. Is it right? Sorry if I butchered your name. Thank you so much for the support, guy. Yeah, the big bot, the Botley. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Some guy also asked if I'm going to be at any circuit. There are plans. End of July, first days of August. We might do another lazy dev trip, going to the Nürburgring, and from there to Spa to check the 24 hours, and then back to Italy. I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know if we do it. Maybe we can find each other. I will be completely vaccinated, so no worries about that. So that would be nice. Maybe if anybody comes, and if we go to the Nürburgring, the Nordschleifen comes, and we can meet somebody. Maybe I can also, if you guys want, for the guys that they will be there, maybe I can get you for a lap in the Nürburgring on the Miata. We'll see. Giorgio asks, so in an old video I said that the cars practically ride on the front bump stops, but with the Bentley I am practically at 5 at the front. Why is that? Is Bentley not so pitch sensitive? There are two reasons. Well, first of all, depends on the track, obviously. Secondly, depends absolutely on the car and on the suspension. So if the suspension has enough anti-dive geometry, you can use less bump stop. Staying on 5, it doesn't mean that you don't go on the bump stop. You just go later, right? So you still go on the bump stop while on the turns or while braking. You just go later, which makes the front end a little bit softer. as we said, the Bentley is a long car with a very long wheelbase, and that makes that car a bit less pitch sensitive, a little less load transfer sensitive. It means you can get some more freedom to play with, to work with. So, yeah. Squizzo, sì, esattamente. Okay, so let's have a look actually at the telemetry and see. Let's check here. You can also see and see. The dampers are a little bit too high on the rebound, so maybe we can give a little bit extra damping on the rebound, and they seem pretty good at the back. All right, we can try and fix that. So let's go back to the game. Needs even more rebound. That's interesting. Let's go up to 26 on the rebound, and then we'll see. I use depends. I think I use 180 both in the game and in the steering wheel. What is the best way to tune the fast dampers? Well, it is similar. Probably what you see here from this side on and this side on, it's the fast damping. So you need it to get closer, let's say, and this is your base again. Once you have the base, you can start tuning. We should make a proper video about that. As usual, dampers are very complex. I'm the first to say I cannot always understand them. So yeah. No, Danilo non ce l'ho neanche la PlayStation, perciò mi spiace. Okay, so let's go back. We put the dampers right here. So since we know that keeping the dampers like that, it will put the front end a little bit lower, maybe have some, I don't know, we'll see. You can never say right away what is going to happen with the damper. So let's try and see. I would like to go one down on the traction control and see if I can get more acceleration out of the corners. We have a new follower on the channel. It's all in Arabic characters and alphabet, so I'm sorry I cannot pronounce your name, but welcome, thank you so much. Anais also subscribed, thank you so much. Where are we? Yes. So I would like to have a little bit more rotation. Let's go one up to the right here, just one, and see if we can improve on that. Actually, let's go down, save the setup first, and then try again. So this is Zand Bentley, and we are 26T2801, and this is our first setup. Okay, and all right, so let's go up one here and try again. If we can do a 35 flat with a race setup, practically not bad for first hour of practice, which means that if you do the same tomorrow and again, you can arrive at Sunday endurance race with a race pace of around 24 highs maybe, or maybe 24 lows even. Sounds interesting as a pace for me at least. Oh, come on. Heat up tires and everything. That was nice here, even with cold tires. Don't read the chat so much. As correctly Sisi says, this YouTube channel never use clickbait titles. I never use unskippable ads, and because of all of that, the algos of YouTube doesn't really like me so much. So if you want to stay informed when I do the live stream and so on, best thing to do is leave a like and hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, probably YouTube will never let you know that I have a new video. Ah! Come on, Aris. Bad driving. Let's get our shit together. Ciao Fabio! Lost our time there. Bad, very bad. Very late on the braking. So what I told you, you should never go late on the braking. You're not really gaining time. Brake at the same reference point as usual, release the brake sooner and bring more speed inside the turn. That's how you gain time, actually. Again, bad driving. a little bit better, but not that much of a good lap time, honestly.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
At least I'm consistent. Very consistent. And a little bit extra gained.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
Hello, Gander. Welcome, Patrick and Russell. No, I couldn't make it. All right. Let's go back to the garage. The pressures are not that bad. I could use a little bit extra here. And still a bit too high here. That's strange. It depends also. All right. So what is going on the chat? Lucas, this is unfortunately. So Lucas asked, he saw in too many sides the steering lock for its car. To get the ideal car steer, you should go to the exact setting for its car. For example, the Bentley seems to be 640. Now this is true, unfortunately, for the console, or it was true. I'm not sure if we fixed it already or if it's still the case. We will fix it, I promise. Because since Assetto Corsa 1, the idea is that you don't really have to, dial. You can go in the game and you can rotate your steering wheel at 90 degrees and make sure that also the virtual steering wheel is at 90 degrees. If this is the case, then everything is set up correctly. If you see discrepancies, so for example here, let me change on the fly the sensitivity. You see, now I've put it less, and as you can see, the virtual steering wheel rotates more than the actual steering wheel. That is not good. So for the PC, you just set your steering wheel at the same degrees as you set it also on on the game options. For the console, you might need to follow, for each car, the correct steering angle. It is something that it shouldn't work like that. Unfortunately, this is the case right now. I believe we are going to fix it. So yeah. All right, let's go back. Lucas, yes, the dampers histogram depends on the stiffness of the suspension, on your driving style, on where you go on the track with your car. If you jump over the curbs all the time, obviously the dampers histogram will be different. So what you're doing is you need to make sure that you have a decent dampers histogram, and then build on that and make it something better. Okay, so let me check one extra thing here. So we do our laps. Lap times are not bad. Let's see the tire wear of the tires, the tire consumption, and see if we have big differences front and rear. That's very good and very interesting. Such a great car. You see, so this car, because it's so long, it doesn't really put into big strain the front or the rear tires. It keeps them pretty much balanced, and you can see, for example, that the tire consumption front and rear is quite similar, no big differences, which means that it's a car that you can use like this without issues. Now, because the car is front engine and the fuel tank is at the back, it means that while you keep on going through the whole driving stint, it means that the rear end of the car is going to get lighter and lighter. It might even raise a little bit the right head of the rear, and the rear tires will obviously get more consumed, which probably means that you're gonna get a little bit more traction issues than normally. So I would suggest that even we see that now our setup is a tiny little bit on the understeer side. Sometimes I would need extra rotation. I wouldn't change it much. Maybe after some practice, some extra practice, I can work with it. But honestly, maybe for the race, it's good to have just a little bit of understeer setup at the start, and then later on the driver stint, on the race stint, the car will outbalance itself all alone, and you'll have some traction issues, but you'll still have a very good and neutral setup and balanced setup to play with. Now we are using the 2018-2019 Zandvoort circuit. This is what it is. So many guys subscribing. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Patrick, Gandar, Hamoda, Bam Bam, and Rizki for following the channel. David, it's difficult to tell you about the McLaren. The McLaren is a difficult car to set up. It has lots of speed inside the turns. It can bring a lot of speed and momentum, but it is a sensitive car and also sensitive to the driving style, so it is a hard car to deal with. Ciao, everyone. Alright, 10 more minutes. What we should do? I think we talk about many things tonight. Maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we can go down one on the lateral bar and down one or two at the rear wheel rate and see if we can get more traction but also less understeer, and see if that helps. Alright, let's try this. Yeah. Actually, I have to change the tire set once more. Should be fresh tires now. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the Maca likes stiff setup. Then generally all the short cars, and I know that the McLaren seems a long car, but the wheelbase is relatively short, and there is a lot of aerodynamic sensitivity. All those kind of cars like a stiff setup. Mid-engine car to recommend. I don't know, it really depends a lot on the setup and how he feels confident, you know. It's not an easy thing to recommend because it depends on how he likes the car. I would recommend to try, for example, the Lamborghini, but with a very equal front to rear ride height. Also with the Audi you can do something like that. Front rear ride height very equal. Oop. Many people will tell you try the Ferrari, but the Ferrari, especially the Evo one, can be an angry beast. So it's you know what's the thing with the Ferrari, especially the Evo one. You start driving it and it's like, oh, that's nice and easy, and then you push it and you push it and you push it, and surprises come out, you know. Ahmad, welcome to the channel, mate. Car reacts really well, actually. Also good exit here. Very good traction. Not so good here, but still better than before. Bad Aris. That's a pity. Could easily have been a 35 flat. Very good here. I've lost it here too fast. come on, Aris. Yeah, that's all driving actually. It's better, but it's driving. Hey Harsh, welcome to the channel. Okay guys, it's almost 1 hour and a half we've been driving, so I think it's time to save this setup as well. So let's save this setup as 0.2, and actually, because I hear some people saying that, oh, car seems a little bit too nervous on braking. I like it like this. You might not like it like this. So what we're gonna do now is take the 2 version, which was pretty good, and make it a little bit more stable under braking. So what I'm going to do here is go down 1 millimeter on the right height, go up a little bit on the brake bias, and a little bit lower. Maybe I will go even. Yes, I will go actually asymmetrical. I'll go 1 click lower on the bump stop at the left, sorry, which is the front left part that the car dives in when you go into that very fast left-hander. Sorry, right-hander. Why is that? Because it is very fast and means that aerodynamics play a major role into that turn. So I don't need the car to be as stable on right-hand corners and left-hand corners, so I just need it downhill on the right-hand corner over there. So I will go a little bit asymmetrical here. If you still find it too nervous under braking, 1 more click at the brake bias, and maybe 1 more click or 2 at the bump stop rate here, and see what happens. So saving this as number 2, safer. Okay, great. Let's go and upload all that stuff so that you guys can have a look and have some fun with. So this Motec here becomes what is this? Zand Bentley. All right, yeah, that's it. And now let's go to Firefox and upload everything. Maybe you can have a look where I'm uploading. So Motec goes over to Ascaroth server, starting uploading, fine, like that. Okay, while the setup goes into my third folder, Bentley Zandvoort, new folder is Zandvoort. Oops, Zandvoort, like this. Yes, and let's go. Oops, I've lost. Where is the files? Over here. So let's go to the setups. Setups. Where is it? Bentley Zandvoort. That's it. 1, 2, and 3 files. Yep, everything uploaded. So that was it for today. I don't have much time, so everything is uploaded. I hope you liked the live stream and a little bit of hints that we did during the live stream for the car and for the truck. And tomorrow, as usual, we have the live stream, long live stream at starting at 10 o'clock in the night, Central European time. Probably we're gonna do another great community race or a couple of them. And yeah, have fun, have a great night, and see you tomorrow, guys. Bye, cheers.